Welcome back to the show. What is it about chocolate? Really good chocolate that satisfies. It's the good stuff, just one piece will make you feel better, right? And satisfied. And Spinnaker Chocolate in Seattle makes delicious chocolates in small batches. Spinnaker's Kelly Van Arsdale says it's all about the beans, and you're joining me now to talk about the chocolate, the beans, and the awards. I heard you just learned this morning that you got like 9 awards.
Yes, we did, yeah, in our first year, which is pretty crazy. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
I'm not surprised, though. We did taste this a little bit earlier in our office, and we all fell in love with it, and we thought, we have to talk to this man about chocolates.
Yes.
Were you a huge fan of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? How did Spinnaker get started?
Spinnaker got started because my brother actually had a crazy fascination with chocolate.
Really?
So we started it together, and then we kind of built up in his garage until the point where we decided, hey, maybe we should make this a real business. And then about 9 months ago, Spinnaker Chocolate was born.
So this was a hobby at first?
Yes, hobby at first for a long time, maybe 5-6 years before it became a real thing.
Well, good for you. I'm excited. Let's talk about beans because it starts there, right?
Yes, it starts there. So we're a bean to bar maker, which just means that we start with the cocoa beans and we process all the way through to the finished chocolate bars. The very first step for us really is to break the beans open. So if you want to, you can kind of crack one open.
That's pretty cool. I do want to crack one open.
One. Yeah.
The difference is a lot of chocolate makers, I don't know if y'all know this, they actually buy their like hunks of raw chocolate from, you know, other beautiful places in the world that make chocolate, but you make it. That's cool. Okay, so we got the bean open. We're making a mess. I love that.
Yeah, so you can kind of see what's in here. There's little pieces of nibs. That's what we call the inside of the bean, and then the shells.
Okay.
And we actually divide those. So that's what I have here is the sort of two
nibs
piles.
and the
shells and the nibs, yeah. And then we make chocolate from the nibs, and we grind those up.
Okay.
But before we do that whole process, we always kind of check the fermentation level of the chocolate.
Got it.
And that's what our bean guillotine is here.
Bean guillotine.
That's right.
That looks, how does it work? Let me see.
Okay, so it quite literally just chops the beans in half. Ooh. So we're actually going to do this right now, and I can kind of show you the inside and show you what these beans look like.
This is kind of fun.
Yeah, we get to slice about 50 of them in half all at once.
And the alliteration on this, the bean guillotine, is fantastic.
Yes, this is probably one of the most fun parts of my job. Okay.
Oh, get in there.
Yeah. All right, so what we look for is cacao that is really well fermented. So we'll open this up, and you can kind of see on the inside what we're looking for here.
And so some of these beans won't make it.
Some of these beans won't make it. Yeah, we do try and sort out some of the beans that aren't very well fermented and try and get rid of those. So the basic concept is if they're not well fermented, they're probably not going to taste very good.
Can you tell from first glance, like if I pick one out, can I know? Is that one fermented well?
Yes, so actually these are all fermented well. That one is the one that's not fermented very well.
The one I picked?
Yes.
Ah,
that's the bad one, yeah.
So the lighter one is the one that's not quite fermented well, and so you would pick that out and say, forget about it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're making chocolate with more of the good beans, and therefore the flavor is supposedly better.
So take us to the rest of the process. You use the bean guillotine, and then you do this by hand?
We do a lot of these pieces by hand. Okay. Yeah, a lot of sorting by hand. We have some machines that we built ourselves to kind of help us sort through things. But after this step where we've kind of identified the beans that aren't so well fermented, we've got our nibs, we roast those, and then we grind them, and that's what this is for.
Okay.
This is called a stone Melanger, and I don't know if you can see inside there, but there's a stone base.
I can try to
2 stone
turn
wheels.
This so y'all can see. It's heavy.
It is heavy,
serious stone wheels.
Exactly, because they're going to do some grinding for us.
All right, let's see it.
So the way this thing works is it just kind of turns. You can kind of hear the wheels grinding with the base. So we put the nibs in here and grind everything for almost 24 hours. It'll run for quite a long time.
Okay, wow.
The nice part about this machine is it heats up because of the grinding, and so it actually melts the cocoa butter that's in the nib, so it becomes liquid chocolate.
That's what I was going to ask you, is how does it turn into some sort of, so it kind of has like a little bit of a slurry to it.
Exactly, and then we add some sugar in here, and after about 24 hours, it'll end up looking like this. And this is our, I can kind of tilt this so you can see it. Finished chocolate.
Oh, man.
So if we want, we can pour a little bit of this out, and we can actually taste it.
Yeah.
Let's pour it
Let's
into
do that.
here. I will hold this. So
that is beautiful. Out. Look at the color.
Okay.
That is some rich chocolate right there. And so all you've added to that, other than the nibs, is some sugar?
Is some sugar, yeah.
So no milk or anything like that?
Nothing at all, yeah. It's just 70% nibs and 30% sugar. That's what our 70% bars are.
So I can try this now?
Go for it.
Okay, because I'm masking to be polite, but I'm still going to. Okay, let me see.
So this is our 70% Belize, and usually has a sort of a berry flavor to it.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's got like a berry flavor.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about super good dark chocolate. It's got that berry.
Yeah.
That bright, it's very bright. I mean, really, truly, you don't need anything else with it. You don't need it to be flavored.
Right.
But you do kind of flavor it just slightly because you have like several different kinds of chocolate.
We do.
Which I love. Should we pour it in the mold?
We can, yeah. So when we're ready to actually make bars, we would temper this chocolate. So this is untempered at the moment.
Okay.
And then we would pour it into our molds, and we have a little vibration table that will kind of fill the mold so it'll all kind of even out, get all the air bubbles out, and then that's what we have
and
here.
That's what it looks like in the end. And what have you seasoned with this? More nibs?
Yes, so this is nibs and salt. It's our Belize with nibs and salt, which we found out this morning is one of our award winners, so that's very exciting.
I love it.
Yeah, so once we're done, these will go into the fridge for about an hour, and then it'll settle, and then we can actually dump these guys out. So you can see what they look like.
Look how pretty.
And those are our finished chocolate bars, so you can see.
They're so shiny, and they're beautiful. I love just the design of it. By the way, Spinnaker, what is that name?
So it's if you've ever seen sailboats that are going sort of with the wind, and they've got the big sail out front, it's almost like a parachute. That's basically the speed sail on a sailboat. My brother and my mom are both sailors, so that's where the name kind of came from.
I love it. So that big sail you see right there, that is the Spinnaker sail. I'm going to take, can I try a piece of this?
Absolutely, please, yeah.
I'm going to try this one, but as I do that, can you kind of go through some of the flavors that are most popular and what are your favorite?
Yes, so we've got quite a few flavors. We've got sort of single origin bars, which is just 70%, and then we've got some of our bars, which we call inclusions, which is something like this. And so one of our most popular and one of our award winners this morning as well is our Belize with bourbon bar, which we can also try if we can break that package open.
All right, if we must. We only got about 10 seconds left, so I'm gonna, and I like the packaging. It's very fresh, but not super ridiculous. It's just classy and does the job.
Yeah.
All right, so good. Thank you so much for coming. You are welcome here anytime, my friend.